Good morning, everyone. Welcome to week 5 of Advanced Financial Management. I hope that your summer is going well. I have graded most of your tests. They look really good, and I will be sending those back to you sometime in the next day or so. I like to read through them twice, so if your grade changes a little bit, it's because I went back and read them again, and I still have one left to read from your class and one from another section. So, but for the most part, they looked really good. You answered the questions well. They were very thoughtful in your answers. Chances are if you missed some points, in this section at least, it was for documentation. A couple of you didn't have sources cited, but that's the biggest place that points were missed. But with that, no one did terribly on the test, so thank you for that. Your next test is already posted. If you look, it's a little bit different. We've covered a lot of material, and a lot of it's fairly abstract, so there's 5 questions posted, and you'll only need to answer 3 of them. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know. Also, your discussion questions for this week are posted. This week's reading is a little bit different. I just wanted to put some reference with that and to frame your reading before you started into it, if you haven't started already. We've been going through talking about corporate structure, and then last week talked about returns and portfolios. This week's reading, the FAMA reading, it touches on the idea that stock prices or equity prices are random walks, and that they cannot be predicted. One of the reasons that happens is because some people overestimate returns and some people underestimate returns, and we have different risk tolerances. If we had more time in this class, we'd read some of the FAMA behavioral stuff, which is kind of interesting. Basically, it says that we can take all these models and put them into place, but people are still going to act like people, which makes more sense in the market, and especially reading last week's discussion threads. And a lot of you seem to be afraid of the market, for lack of a better term. It's something to think about. So anyway, when you go through and read it, think about the idea of the random walk and that we have different beliefs and thoughts, because there's 2 questions posted. I used Apple as a company simply because I know that it doesn't have any debt without having to look up a bunch of stuff, and we're all familiar with it and its products. I'm actually recording this video on my phone as the webcam on my computer still is not fixed. I understand I'll be getting another computer in a few days, but Apple products have become common to all of us, so it's something that we're familiar with. There's no right answer to the questions that are there, but just think about it as we go through. I'll post another question towards the end of the week that'll kind of frame the answers that you gave. So anyway, when you read this, the article this week, it's actually a book chapter. Think about that. The big thing that FAMA and French are saying is that, or that Eugene Fama is saying, is that the market follows a random walk, and we can't readily predict what's going to happen. This is a big departure from the sharp idea that we've had before in the capital asset pricing model, which Markowitz relies on for his work, in that we can predict what's going to happen because of expected return and because of beta, which measures systematic risk. However, beta is based off of past results. So anyway, keep that in mind as you go through. Next week's reading, if you haven't looked ahead, is a little bit different too. We're going to look at options. Instead of discussion for next week, we're actually going to have an activity that I'll post, or in addition to the discussion, we'll have an activity that'll be posted shortly. But anyway, thank you for your test answers. If you have any questions about that, please let me know. If you have any questions about your grade, please let me know, but I will be sending those back to you. So have a good evening or afternoon, and I will talk to you soon.